I'm Eric Coleman from IGN TV. Super excited to be back here. A couple years ago, I was lucky enough to moderate the first panel for the 100 in a much smaller room here at Comic-Con when no one really knew what the show was. 2 years later, I think all you guys have figured out it's one of the coolest, most exciting shows on TV. Let's bring out the people who are making it for you. We'll start off with executive producer Jason Rothenberg. She plays Clarke. Eliza Tyler, please. He plays Bellamy, Bob Morley. She plays Octavia. Please welcome Marie Agaropoulos. Can't call him Chancellor anymore, but he's still Jaha. Please welcome Isaiah Washington. If you need a mechanic, you know to call Raven. Please welcome Lindsay Morgan. And last but not least, please welcome the man who plays Lincoln, Ricky Whittle. So, a lot to talk about here, guys. I'm going to ask questions for a little bit, throw in some social questions, and we're going to get to you guys. So have your questions ready. Let's start off, though, Jason, season 10, I'm getting ahead of myself. Season 2, spoiler alert, obviously ended, a lot happened, Mount Weathered was taken out, something is going on with Jaha right now. What can you say going into season 3? How will it begin? What will sort of the overall arc of season 3 be in a broad nutshell?
Okay, well, to start with a spoiler, we are going to have our first time jump between seasons. We're going to pick things up a little time after, a couple months after Clarke bailed on people. And the season itself is going to be, I think, as different from season 2 as season 1 was from season 2. So we change it up every year. Obviously, the Alley story, the AI story really sets us in a new, much more, I think, science fiction direction, which I'm excited about. We started the show as a sci-fi, real hardcore sci-fi show. We were in space. Obviously, we lost that. I really missed that. And so this lets us get back to some really intense, hardcore sci-fi, which I'm excited for.
Eliza, Clarke, she had to do a lot at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
And she basically said she couldn't be there at the end. She had to take off after everything that happened.
She's finding herself.
She's finding herself. What do you think her frame of mind is, though, at this point? I mean, is she damaged, or is it just the weight of it?
She's gone batshit crazy. What she did at the end of the season was so huge and traumatic, and I think that she's running away, which is very un-Clarke-like.
We did.
Yeah. So when we pick things up, I think she's going to be losing it a little.
Bob, for you, looking back at season 1, originally, Bellamy was sort of there was a co-leader thing happening in season 1. In season 2, obviously, once the other characters came down from the Ark, for a while your character was a prisoner, then he was off helping people Mount Weather. What do you think his role might be now, coming back in with the larger group, and you might even take another leadership role?
Clarke left him there to kind of do that, so I assume that he'll just do what Clarke couldn't do and become a leader.
Hey, hang on.
It's a new leadership idea. Obviously Octavia this past season was really kind of on the road to becoming a grounder in a lot of ways.
Finally.
Until they freaking left her there in that tunnel. And, she still has Lincoln, clearly, but...
Yeah, she does.
After that sort of loss, how do you think she is feeling she can fit in with the group? Can she fit in with the group? Kind of going back to them at this point.
I feel like Octavia hasn't really fit in anywhere growing up under the floor.
She was small, she fit in there.
But, through Lincoln, she really found her place, within the world with the Grounders, and they really brought out the warrior in her. So I think she'd have a hard time going back to the Arkers and be a little resentful towards those kind of people.
And Isaiah, Jaha was really going on this journey of faith. He was, leading some people along, saying, there's something that we're going towards. How do you think he's reacting now that he's got there? It's a very nice house, but it might not be exactly what he was expecting.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what kind of memes the fans are going to come up with now, because they had me in the Moses outfit. You did it. You guys did it. You did it to Jaha. You lost his mind. I think the
Jaha in the house there. You see that boy?
Good job.
It's what?
Cap Jaha.
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't know that question. You know what? I went out there late last night to see you guys. I know there's a one named Minzy from Lansing, Michigan. I don't know if you're in here, but you know what? I gotta do this. Thank you.
What was the question?
Just me.
Question, he was wondering what it was like to go from being Moses in season 1 to Jesus in season 2. And what do you do after that?
Oh, I thought I was Moses in season 2. So Jesus is season
12 disciples, 12 people.
Well, I think, like I learned, Jaha is in a very fancy house with a very beautiful, not real woman. So, I don't know how we're gonna have fun with that, but I think. Maybe what I just said. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with that. But he does have access to a nuclear warhead, so things should be interesting for Jaha.
Special.
Lindsay, Raven, obviously had a lot to, in the first half of the season especially, is dealing with this physical issue. Do you think she's come to terms with that, or is that something still lingering for her, sort of bitterness over not being everything she felt she should be?
Yeah, I think she's still a little bitter, Eric. I think it's something about Raven that's so integral to the character for her to lose a certain strength to her, but to find an even greater strength into learning how to live and operate no matter what. And I think it shows her inner strength, and it also, I love that I get the opportunity to portray someone with a disability on TV. I think it's really important, and I love it on the show. She kicks ass. She's really kicking ass.
Ricky, it's funny when I say that this was a tough year for Lincoln, it's not like it was an easy year for the other characters in the show.
It was so different to the first year, which was a breeze.
Yeah. he might go through a lot here, might have some physical duress, but yeah, he went through a lot in season 2. Obviously, he did get some comeuppance at the end. He got some revenge at the very end of the season. But has this permanently altered him, you think, the experience, even if he's not still maybe reaping out?
I mean, I think we're all molded by our experiences. Of course it's going to affect Lincoln, but I think the good thing about Lincoln is his moral compass has never changed. It's never wavered in the face of adversity, pain, loss. He's always tried to fight for what he believes was right. And he'll continue to make immense sacrifices for that belief and for Octavia. So I don't think anything's going to change. His life's a war. His body's a roadmap of pain and torture. He's used to it. Ooh, bring on season 3. Game on. You gonna get that on drugs or what? What's up, bro? Problem with Lincoln.
Are you juicing?
Probably not. I didn't know. You live, bro?
Used to.
No way. Stop it.
Jason, it's not like the show, episode 3, I think, of the show had, a little girl murdering someone, and then she died the next episode. So it's not like the show was like fluffy. There was always darkness there, but season 2 went dark. Is this something sort of a real thing you wanted to do, or is it just where the story took you as you were, going into this idea and the themes you were exploring?
Both. We started the season and I knew that I was going to try to push them over the line. It was about how far would they go to save their people. At what point does the good guy become the bad guy? Was the sort of theme of the season, and so we had that as a direction. The entire season we were building towards that moment when she had to kill all those people. It was very important to me, as sick as it sounds, that there were kids there, that there were people that had helped them in that room to make the choice as hard as possible. And so, that didn't seem to be a kind of idea that lent itself to musical numbers or, any real happiness. So, but those few and far between smiles, I think, it's funny, when you see them smile, it's like, oh my God, they can actually smile. We'll get some of that after the time jump, perhaps, but you could bet it won't last that long.
So mixing in a little social questions here. Got one on Twitter from someone who identifies himself as Raven Reyes. I'm guessing that's not an amazing coincidence and not her actual name, but she asks, for Eliza and Bob, how do Clarke and Bellamy differ in dealing with the guilt and the consequences of their decisions? We were kind of talking about this a little bit before, but how do you think they're both processing this in different ways?
I think Clarke's, like I said before, she's completely abandoned her people, so she's not dealing with it particularly well. I don't know about Bellamy. He's probably come out on top.
Yeah, I guess that he's going to have to, he's been forced to step into that position to look after the 44 on his own. So, but he just has to get on with it. It sucks, but he just has to do it.
They keep having new horrible things to avoid.
Yeah.
Marie, we talked a little bit about this, but the transformation of Octavia has been pretty remarkable since the show began. For you, what's it like taking the character from the "we're back bitches" version of Octavia to where she is now?
Oh my goodness, it feels like, two different people, which is a lot of fun as an actress, to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. And it was pretty cool to meet people today in Germany, and they haven't even seen season 2 yet, and I can't wait to do the whole "I told you so," thing, because it's easy to judge her at first, and she becomes like this kick-ass warrior woman, which is so much fun to play.
He was in charge. He was the guy calling all the shots. Came down to earth and things had changed. How do you think he's dealt with that? Is there a part of him bitter about this, or is he sort of moving on from that?
I think a bit of all of it. You can't be in that position and sacrifice so much. What I do find interesting is that whatever he was trying to protect the Archers from, and what he thought he was trying to protect even the children from us, who realized what was going on. He ended up losing everything that he was trying to hold on to. And the irony of it all is that even during the culling, ironically, he's not the only one that has blood on him. From the very beginning, we're all, we've all have done some things that even with Finn, and just even the character Lexa, all these different things, everyone has blood on their hands, thinking they're doing something really good, and it just turns out to be pretty complicated. And it's going to continue that way until there's season 2 Jaha for sure.
Question we got from Maria. This is, I'll ask Lindsay. We'll see how much you might know yet, because these guys are about to start filming. They haven't yet. But she writes, Raven is such an inspiration, and she's been through so much. What can we expect from her story in season 3?
Well, I don't know how much I can say, but thank you. So they can hear me. They can hear me in the back. Raven's coming out on top, guys. I think season 3 is going to be awesome for her because you get to see the ramifications of season 1 and season 2 for Raven. Not only her physical endurance and storyline, but also at the end of season 2, she was in a really precarious situation physically again. She was already, as much as she doesn't want to admit it, delicate. And after, being in a bomb explosion and what happened in that weather, she's worse off, and it's even harder to face. And, emotionally, she's really living her life without Finn and really feeling that grief. And there's someone new in her life, as far as, Wick coming in, and even that's a whole new obstacle for her. So she's really, you know, you're gonna see a new Raven because she's changed by everything she went through, and you know, she's trying to rebuild herself piece by piece.
No pun intended.
We're going to go to audience questions in a minute, so if you want to start lining up, I know there are mics out there in the darkness, full darkness for us. But Ricky, you know, how do you think Lincoln is getting along amongst the others? He began as someone completely mistrusted. Now he's fought by their side. He kind of stuck with them at the end of last season. Do you think there's trust there, or is there still suspicion?
There's trust what? What? Yo, hit me one more time, bro. No. I'm sorry. Trust issues. I believe there was trust issues, right? Yeah, Lincoln's obviously, he's always been one for peace and one for assimilation. He doesn't want this war, and he's always, as I said, for the greater good. And that's something he's going to continue this season. You know, but as we know, he's living amongst the people, the Archers. The Archers only know grounders as those who have killed members of their own family and friends. So how would they feel about one of those people being in their own grounds, living amongst them? And how are they going to react to him, and how's he going to react to that? It's going to be very interesting to see those dynamics progress.
Do we have our first audience question?
I don't know if that was the question.
Now you're out there.
Oh, you did?
They'll hurt you though.
Yeah.
Everyone heard you.
And they're tweeting that right.
Hi guys.
Oh, here we go.
How are you?
Right in the middle there.
Good, thanks. Hello.
I've got my hat on.
Ooh, look at that.
Wow, that was you.
I'm Mikey, and I just wanted to start out by saying I'm a huge fan of the show, of all of you guys, and everything that you do. And I just want to say thanks for giving the fans something to love, and thank you for filming in Vancouver. Yeah.
Do you work there?
Yeah, we're not. Oh, so you remembered. My question is, how do you all handle the complexity of the show? Just because it's got so many twists and turns, and I don't think anyone expected the show to be where it is now, season 1, episode 1.
I skip their pages in the script and just go right to my parts.
He's not lying, actually. No, I mean, I think that it's a good answer because I don't know what everybody's process is in detail, but they focus on their character's journey. And, you know, I know Isaiah, for instance, and I talk a lot, he doesn't ever want to know what's going to happen because I suppose that it would influence the choices that he makes in the moment, and that's what they're all trying to live in. I, you know, have to carry all 12 or all, you know, 100 of them around in my head, so I'm the real crazy one.
Next question from Khaleesi, I believe.
Hi, I'm Sophie Hansen. Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank the whole cast, but Lindsay in particular, for what I thought was a very accurate portrayal of someone with a disability. As someone who has kind of a bum leg myself, it was really cool to see. So thanks for showing us we can still be, you know, powerful and strong with a disability. My question for the whole cast is, do you believe it is still possible for your characters to be good people in the classical sense as they try to survive?
The entire show's theme.
Who wants to go first?
Maybe there are no I mean, I don't know. Yes, I think they're all deep down pretty damn good.
I think they're decent people, they've just been put in a really terrible situation.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're ever going to be normal, nice people in the classical sense ever again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that the good thing about our show is there are no good or bad people, there's only perspective. And it depends on which side of the fence you fall. If you yourself find yourself in a jungle fighting for your life, it's your life, and you're trying to protect your loved one over people that you don't know, how far would you go? This is your life, this is your loved one's life. We like to think we'd all do the right thing, we'd all do the good thing, we'd walk away, we wouldn't do this, we wouldn't do that, but push comes to shove. If you're in that situation, I think we'll probably all find ourselves, protecting the ones we love, and that's all everyone's kind of doing on this show, is taking it from their own perspective and fighting for the ones they love and the morals that they're pushing forward.
I personally love the show.
Thank you.
What is that?
Thank you. You're all week.
But something I always imagine for the viewers is every decision all our characters make and what the show goes through is, as I try to step out of it and as a viewer, what would I do? Like, as Lindsay, what would I do? And I think and I think that's something that Jason really has created with the show, is he wants to create a society in the future where, if we had to redo society, what would you do? Would you do it differently? What decisions would you make? How would it change you? And it makes you think. I think that's a big draw to the show, and I think it's really important. We start thinking about it.
That's a great answer. That's what we do every day in the writer's room, is we sort of try to paint them into situations where, there is no good choice. On one side, you kill 480 innocent people. On the other side, if you don't do that, the 44 people that you love are going to be turned into bone marrow, donors and killed.
Yeah.
So there is no easy answer in the show ever. That's sort of the way we try to, really mess with them. And it will affect them going forward. And that's going to be the sort of formula until we're done.
Next question from young Harvey Dent.
Well, actually, a lot of people think that I'm Harvey Dent, but actually, I'm a fancy grounder.
Oh!
Instead of all that wood makeup on my face, just straight down the hat.
Nailed it!
Hey, somebody's getting ready for the third season, bro. You work with Allie.
Yeah, and what I was wondering was, in the last 2 seasons, you guys have made a lot of truly philosophical, hard decisions. And have those being in them affected your compass and the way that you even look at life?
Jason?
You
made me question my
The best question I've ever gotten. No, it hasn't changed the way I view life, really. I have to all the time sort of ask myself what I think and what I believe as we go in to tell these really dark stories. And, the writing staff on the show is obviously all incredibly talented. And, if I make a bad choice, I get snapped for it by certain people on our staff. But yeah, I think that, I don't know if you're asking for each of them as people, as human beings, if it's changed them, or if it's changed their characters. What are you asking?
Us as people, yeah.
Characters or people?
People.
It could be either or.
Well, it's definitely changed their characters.
Them as people themselves.
I think that a lot of them, from the very beginning, for myself, I always look at the show as an opportunity to show the flaws that we have. When you look at us chemically composed, we're carbons and things, we're composed of just a created human being. We don't really amount to much when you look at gold and silver and other chemicals. So my thing with Jaha is always trying to find out what is the greater good of ourselves. Who is that? What is that? Is there a universe of God? Not really putting our finger on that, but trying to figure out the moral compass of what do you have to do. Again, that's what Jason is so good at, is ignoring those lines. Is that what is moral? What is amoral? What is immoral? That is a real question that I think all of our characters are going to continue to struggle with. And in terms of the individual, I always looked at this show as that, the last time we were here, we've had some pretty inhumane things happen in the United States that we all have to wrestle with. That we just couldn't believe that another human being could do something to these other human beings. But again, with the inhumanity that we're addressing today, we could probably shine a light on how we can be more humane today.
To throw in a social question here, 2-second promise. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Jason, because it's a pretty specific plot one, but let's see what you say. Bianca asks, is there a possibility that Clarke will meet up with Murphy and Jaha while she's away?
Oh, I would love that.
There's always a possibility. We love to cross people with each other that don't necessarily always seem to go together. but I can't talk about that. That's way down the line. Jaha's on an island somewhere, Atlantic Ocean. Clarke is on walkabout, trying to figure out who she is back home in Australia. So we'll see is the answer to that.
Next question, please.
My name is Michaela Renshaw, and my question is mostly for Jason, but a little bit for Eliza. After the heartbreaking finale of season 2, is there any hope of reconciliation between Clarke and Lexa, or is the relationship completely shattered?
Oh, that's... You can, yeah.
Well, first of all, is there hope for reconciliation? I suppose there's hope for reconciliation because Alicia Devon Carey's coming back to the show. So that's a possibility, of course. But I think when they come together for the first time, there'll be fireworks in a way that we haven't seen before because Clarke is pissed.
Really pissed. I mean, she really messed it up. She had a really good thing going. I mean, it's Clarke. But yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting to see how they butt heads or not.
Anything more you could say about when we might see her? How much we might see her?
No. I mean, she'll be. AMC was awesome in terms of the negotiation, and we have a ton of story to tell. We're going to really dive deeply into the Grounded world and the clans and the mysticism and spirituality of the Grounded world and how commanders are created. It's going to be crazy. That's one of the things that I like the most in terms of world building. So that character lets us do that in a big way. So yeah.
I like to see her have a time jump and go back and forth from Fear the Walking Dead. She get to play Lexa and the same
shared universe.
Go back and forth.
Next.
I'm Hannah. I wanted to say that I love you guys so much. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now.
We love you, Hannah.
Oh, thank you.
We can't believe you're talking to us.
But my question is mainly aimed for Eliza and Bob. What's your guys' opinion on Bellamy and Clarke's relationship romantically?
Well noted Bob's hat.
What was the question?
I think they make it, they're a good team. I don't know.
I'm so confused.
I think that there's going to be some issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I really kind of pissed you off.
Yeah, they were a good team. I don't know, romantically, not so much, but Clarke, I think Clarke gave Bellamy the confidence to make decisions and to trust them. And she's taken that away and kind of left him alone. But I think he doesn't trust himself to be able to do that without her. So he needs her in that sense. I don't know what she kind of...
I don't think I'm really thinking about anyone at all at this point.
But romantically, I don't see it like that, the pairing in that way. That's the way I see it. And don't kill me.
What I'll say about that is, you never know. I mean, there's 2 actors.
Oh, we playing that game now, Jason.
I have literally never shut that question down, ever. I think that these 2 actors have incredible chemistry. We see that every day. We see the same thing people online see, and you never know.
Thank you. All the fingers on Twitter right now.
You piss one group of people off, or you piss the other group.
Timer updates are happening. Next question, please.
My name's Kayla. I'm gonna take off my glasses because I'm gonna start crying.
Then we'll start crying.
Yeah.
Come to
was your favorite? Sorry.
He's about to jump. He go.
What was your favorite?
Might as well, Bob.
Wait.
What was your favorite scene or most horrifying scene that you had to shoot, and what was the outlook going forward with your career in acting?
Well, I can say that my favorite scene was with this guy and this girl when I was fighting you, flashbacks, and then we ended up at the tree. I mean, I stabbed Dax.
Yeah, Dax.
In the throat, and then we sat at the tree, and he said he's a monster and all that kind of stuff.
Might be getting an invoice.
Yeah, which is great. And then the bit about my career, I'm not too sure about that. But that scene really stuck out for me because it was like the two ends of the spectrum where I was fighting Isaiah quite hard and then having a chance to come sit down and debrief in the show. You don't really get many moments where you get to slow down and sit and talk about how you feel. So that was a really nice one. But I think in terms of my career, working with all these guys and on this show has helped elevate my work. Like working with these guys are really good, and you only get better when you work with good people. So, sorry.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and again, thank you for making a show that I can fangirl with all my coworkers about, and everyone else. But my question is geared towards Eliza, more towards you. But have you read the books, and if so, how has that affected your approach to the script and how you act?
I read the first book, but it's so different. I mean, they're kind of two different animals. You've got this, and it was a bit confusing for me, so I stopped there. Because I needed my head to be in Jason's version. So yeah, I mean, it was interesting going, reading how, I don't know.
Did you read it before we started, or did you read it?
No.
It wasn't out before we started.
Yeah.
It just came. Did it come out?
I don't think it was out.
Pilot and the start of the...
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was really no book when we started. There was sort of a treatment, a couple chapters written, and that's what I sort of used as a jumping off point to start telling the story. So that's why they're so different.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Curtis.
Good.
So in a post-Lost sci-fi world where, they just throw up the title and there's really no song, you guys made the bold choice of doing actual theme song this season. I want to know what gave you the courage to do that.
It actually is kind of a courageous thing because you eat 30 seconds of screen time up when you do it, and we come down every episode long. So, I don't know, I felt like a good sci-fi show needs a good sort of title sequence. I was actually influenced strongly by Kim Shumway, one of our writers who has been bothering me about it from day one. And ultimately, I think she was right. I think it's awesome. I think it sort of sets the mood. It's not so long, like some of these cable ones are like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long, and you fast forward them, I have to say. But ours is over before you know it, and I think it captures the tone of the show. So, and also it was sort of a cool view that we can't afford, frankly, since we don't have helicopters with cameras on helicopters. This was a way to sort of get above the world and see an aerial view of things.
Thank you very much. Next question from Dr. Quinzel.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. So my question is specifically for Eliza. I kind of was wondering, in terms of working on a show like this, what would be the biggest hardship from having to act out killing a room full of people, being forced to kiss your extremely attractive co-star?
Yeah, that was really hard. No, I think, the shooting the season finale, the emotional toll of that was pretty hectic. I mean, that set, walking through that set with all the bodies and crispy bodies, it was just it it was really full on. That was one of those days where I went home and was like, must get clean. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Next question.
I'm Colette. I was wondering what, besides your character, who your favorite character is.
Who are you asking that to?
Everyone. Isaiah, answer that one.
Isaiah?
Where did Isaiah go? Mr. Washington.
He only turns up for his questions.
Who's your favorite character besides your own, Isaiah?
I really like Adina Porter's character.
Me too. Yeah.
Forget her name right now. The character.
Indra, your favorite character.
Indra, yes.
I'd like to spend the day as Jackson, just running around being like, Evan,
No, I love all the characters, man. I think I'm proud of the show. You know how I felt about this show from day one. I don't have any favorites. I just hope that one day. Oh, sorry, guys.
Catch your breath.
Oh, I know that's not any. I'm good. Over 50 guys is just not fair. Not fair. It's not fair. Not fair. But what I'm looking for is to have a scene where I can have a conversation with Bellamy about shooting Jaha. That's what I'll do, bro. At some point. I mean, it's not a favorite character, but I'm really hoping at some point, I'm not in a rush, that we have that conversation if we get to it.
Anyone else favorite character that's not the one you play?
Jaha.
I think Murphy kicks ass. Murphy's awesome. And you guys haven't seen enough of Monty, who is the coolest character.
Got quite a few questions asking for more Monty.
Yeah.
Monty.
Anyone else favorite character?
I love Monty. I would totally be.
I was gonna say Monty too.
Are you going to say Ray?
There will be more Monty.
I think all the characters from Lexa, the supporting, Rob Perry, Whitworth, I mean, every character this season has just been amazing, right? It's everyone. See, like every time I watch this season, I have a confession.
You don't watch the show?
No, I don't. I don't watch it. I'm live tweeting. I'm a fraud. I don't have television, regular television cable in my house, so I have to watch it the next day on Thursday. So for those of you who follow me on Twitter, it's like, why is he tweeting on Thursdays? Because now I'm really excited about seeing what really came up, and I only know the script. But everything that I got caught up on, I forgot I was in the show. I was so excited to see everything, all these characters morph and change. It was serious. I've been doing this a long time. And all the characters become these full-body, almost like real people. Now I get why you get excited. Because I got so excited, I had to leave the stage, so. I got it.
Thank you. Gamora, you have a question?
Gamora. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello.
That's wicked.
My name is Kara, and there's so much action in this show, and I feel like with stunts, if you were able to choose whatever stunt you could do, wanted to do, have done, and 100% you would not get hurt, what would that be? This is for anybody.
I love doing the wire work. You know, when I jumped out. I'd love to do more of that, but I don't think there's going to be any flying. Yeah, it's really fun.
I heard a little birdie say once that we don't do our own stunts. Let's just put the record straight. I don't even have a stunt double. We do our own stunts, and this is the hardest working cast you're going to find.
That little birdie was probably me.
I'm not saying any names, but some of us took offense because
they do.
Marie
stunts, they do. I mean, there's certain level of stunt that we can't let them do because we.
Well, they both got to fight almost butt naked. That was kind of cool.
But these guys are committed 100%. And when you see the DVD this season, you'll see one of the extras on the DVD is a sort of stunt previous thing, which is amazing. And you will in fact see them all doing their own stunts. So.
Yeah, there's been some incredible stunts. Like Bellamy, Bob's been hanging upside down for minutes at a time, doing some crazy stuff.
That was pretty horrible.
Eliza jumping off wires. Marie's constantly bruised because she just gives 100% every time.
I floated myself.
What's that?
I did my float stuff.
Oh, I don't know what you do to yourself.
I said I floated myself.
Was that in the bathroom just now? No, and Lindsay's the most athletic girl in the world. This woman was like, yeah, incredible. So, you know, they've got an incredibly talented but active cast as well. So, we get to do a lot of stunts. Marshall Birchew's our stunt choreographer. He gets to come up with some incredible ideas. Jason, you know, they formulate these incredible scenarios, and we are fortunate enough that we, you know, are trusted enough to carry them out. So, we've got a lot of stunts coming up for season 3. I'll spoil something. I'm stunting first day, I believe. My first scene is going to be a stunt, so straight off the bat, we're coming at you guys hard, so watch out for season 3.
Next question.
Hi, Monica from Romania.
Hi, Romania. It's a big community.
My question is for all of you.
Wow.
If you would come to Comic-Con to walk the floor, what would you dress up as?
What would you
Chun-Li. Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
I'd probably go as myself, because no one ever believes it's you. I was out last night. I was walking around last night with a couple of these guys, and this guy walks up to me and he's like, "You totally look like the chick from The Hunger Games, but you're not her." She's like, "I'm stood next to Lincoln."
And then Jaha.
That's Jaha. Maybe. Maybe? Okay. So yeah, that's probably the best way to walk around, is no one ever believes it's you. He's English, that can't be Lincoln. Got no tats.
Anything else anyone would want to cosplay as?
I'd like to be Catwoman because I like to wear leathers.
I'd go as Pikachu, probably.
I'd go with Sailor Moon for sure.
Jon Snow.
Thanks, thank you. Next question.
I don't know. I don't have one. A Smurf?
Specific Smurf or any Smurf?
With Pop Smurf.
Pop Smurf.
Pop Smurf.
Hi, I'm Sage. Sorry, I'm shaking really badly.
Sage.
I'm fine. Okay, so a lot of the characters have killed people, obviously. So, are they gonna have post-traumatic stress disorder from that? And is that gonna be portrayed in the role?
Yes. They all have post-traumatic stress. If you think about it, the characters from the arc, the ones that have had the easiest go of things, survived a crash landing from a spaceship. So they all have post-traumatic stress, and yeah, we will see that played out dramatically this season, for sure.
Thank you very much. Next question.
Hi, I was just wondering if you could bring someone who died on the show back, who would it be?
Are you asking me?
That's a really tricky one.
Anybody?
I'd bring Finn.
I need like an obituary list. There's so many.
Anya was pretty tough. Bring back Anya. Cage.
Oh, I bring back Maya. Dante. Loved him. I felt really bad for shooting him.
Can I have my son back?
good, Eliza. What about your dad?
What about your dad?
Your dad. Everyone's your dad.
She got a better dad with Dante.
Is that right? I think I see a Clarke into the microphone.
Oh, is that a club? Oh my god!
Oh, Clarke!
Well done. Where did you get that jacket?
It looks exactly the same. Yes, it's the same one that was used on the show, and then I got it on eBay, took it apart, did about 10 hours of hand sewing, reconstruction.
Wow!
Awesome.
That's so
Good job.
Who beat you up?
My question, first, thank you so much for your communication with the fans, especially with Jason. We've talked a couple times on Twitter, and I really appreciate the communication you've had in the relationship. And I wanted to know, with all these characters that you've created that have such representation in the show, is it something you set out to do in the beginning, or is it kind of go along the way? I mean, when it comes to Raven and Clarke being bisexual, things like that.
Raven? Are you like spoiling something?
Raven, with disabilities or representation, strong women, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the truth is that for us it's not about gender or race or sexual orientation. It's about, can you survive? Are you strong or are you weak? That's the only division on our show. And that's why the women have the roles that they have, and that's why, you know, bisexuality is treated in a way that isn't a big deal on the ground. Nobody makes a comment about it. There's not a story about the fact that one of our characters is gay or bisexual. And so, to me, you know, I say sometimes...
Where it is 100 years in the future, hopefully we'll have that sorted out.
You would hope.
Get back to where it was thousands of years ago. It wasn't an issue thousands of years ago. People loved what they loved to love.
Yeah, I mean, some things get better post-apocalypse.
Thank you very much.
Next question. She's Clarke.
Hi guys, I really love this show. I love Raven. I really love Lexa and Lark's Lexa's like whole storyline, but with Lexa betraying Clarke and the Sky People, what will happen with the Sky People and the Tree Crew? Like, is there going to be another war? Is there going to be fighting? Or is there going to attempt to be a peace treaty? Because she really messed up.
Well, they will attempt peace for sure. There's a lot of bad blood on certain levels from certain people, but when we come back, the war is not on. The tension has been released slightly, but that won't last for very long.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have a quick social question that I want to throw in here, which was someone asked, will we see the mutated grounders, like more of them?
Yes, we will. We'll certainly see characters that we have seen before that are that have mutations, and we'll play that story out too, and sort of understand the psychology that somebody that goes through life with a mutation and how they're treated by the grounders culture. We'll play that out. Yes.
I'm learning so much on this panel.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and I wanted to know, it's for everyone, but if you can play any other character, what would you play?
On this show?
Forever. No, this show. Yeah.
I'd still be Jaha. I want to do that.
I like the Murphy role and Melody Blake roles. I think in the beginning their relationship was very complicated. The hanging and then still working together. Very interesting dynamic with those characters. But I still like Jaha.
I'd like to be Lexa so I can get like grounder on. Speak that language fluently. It's tough.
What? I would want to play, how now?
Your sister.
How gorilla. Gorilla.
That gorilla.
Have you seen an example of that?
It had a name? Or is that just gorilla and grounder?
I'm trying to remember
It's a gorilla.
It's gorilla.
Gorilla!
That's what they called it. They said they
Like that, yes. Anybody know? Anybody speak ground?
You just opened up a Pandora's box up here, young lady.
How not?
It was actually me inside a gorilla.
How not?
Do you have an elaborate history from how now that we will learn?
The elaborate history for the gorilla. Well, there's a funny story about how the gorilla came into being, which I will not tell today, sorry. But it's basically, you know, I think in the post-apocalyptic genre, the idea that zoo animals will escape into the wild and somehow find their way to survive or not, that's who that gorilla was. Somebody who did that. In fact, that location that we shot that stuff at was a zoo. It's an abandoned zoo in Vancouver, so.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Except like Dean, our director's like, and now the gorilla is climbing over the wall, and like he was like roaring at us. It was really hard not to laugh the whole time. It was just so silly.
Yeah, we have to actually send a shout out to Dean White, our producing director, because he's amazing, and he did the gorilla episode, and he is a gorilla of a man.
Very big.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you very much.
That was a good question, clearly.
We have time for one more question.
Oh, look at that.
Hi guys, my name is Ton. So my question is for Jason. So what kind of a sense of hope or like a bright spot do you see in terms of the show's morality, given that season 2 was just a smattering of depression?
Wow, when you put it that way, it sounds awful.
That quote's going on the DVD, by the way.
Yes, that's for sure.
I love it.
You know, I think the world is a tough world that these characters have all found themselves in, and we're just trying to be honest and true to that world. It's, you know, it's kill or be killed, and some people live and some people die. No, this isn't a great answer. They'll find some hope within each other. They'll fall in love or fall, you know, in like or fall into bed. These types of things will happen. The way that we try to sort of, you know, find bright spots in our own lives. And so, you know.
We're on smattering of depression.
Yeah, it's really hard making a show. No, anyway, so yeah, I mean, I get it. I feel like the show is dark. It's going to be dark. It's not going to change. But those sort of, you know, little pops of comedy, whether it's Monty and Jasper, you know, little things like Lexa and Clarke's relationship, a lark if that's ever to happen, you know, we'll find our bright spots too.
Thank you very much. Well, I think all of us here love the smattering of depression that's bring us. Please thank all these guys. Season 3 coming next year.